I'll go over like all the sides and all the hard points and stuff like that. I'll just go over like the basic setups. Basically everyone should go. I'm not gonna do the roles exactly. I'll let y'all establish who does what. I'll just use this for y'all to establish yourselves on doing it. On the good side, this is gonna be. I'm pretty sure this is Specgrew and Cortac. Just so you know, so everyone knows, on every map, good side is Cortac, except for Bagra, which is Specgrew. Oh, I could do this now. Okay, word. That's new. Damn, I gotta actually learn these fucking controls now. Shit. Um, but yeah, I kind of just send the sub. Damn, I don't want to draw though. Can I do this? Oh, okay. Ah, okay, okay, okay. I'm seeing. I'm getting it now. I do a pretty simple setup in this on good side. This side's it's pretty tough to break this setup. But yeah, simply so just a sub, just run straight into hill. AR goes top truck right off the rip. Sub goes bottom and pre-aims like this area, but stays close enough to the wall that he's not peeked from like stables and shit. Um, and then AR is throwing nades and chowing this long lane open. And then if we're on the opposite side, both ARs do this. One AR is looking top single. This AR throws like a stun into close, throws a nade into top single. Um, and then this AR just challenges open from Anvil. Um, and then, I mean, the subs kind of like jump out and then kind of chow bottom art together if they can and shit like that. I kind of like a sub like chowing closed. One sub chows closed, one sub jumps out, and then if one of the subs can like jump into top art, if possible, from closed would be preferable. But this is kind of the break on both sides. If you're on Cortec with red, you're kind of looking just to get art control and flip spawns. If you're on blue, once you get kills, one of you needs to back up and block spawns because this isn't blocked. So if we're getting kills and everything is working, this guy should be dead and hopefully he'll spawn up and be back here and then he starts blocking. But if he doesn't die, then just have the guy on top of the truck back up. So like right about here, right about upstairs, and I'll block spawns. Has to be like behind this line right here. It has to be behind because if it's in front of this line, like even if you're top dubs, it won't block this one. Um, yeah, pretty generic. Rotations are kind of like are pretty simple. You kind of want to go through the back right here for the majority of the rotations, unless you get a close spawn. If you spawn to close stables, you kind of just want to jump to P2. There's a common spawn right here that we need to block as well. I'll do the spawns. Let me do the spawns. There's a spawn right here, spawn right here, spawn right here, and a spawn right here. These are the four primary spawns that we should be blocking. There's some spawns right here and right here as well. Sometimes I have number 3 kind of push up and then go into cubby here a little bit, but yeah, definitely focus on these spawns throughout the map. Um, and just so you know, if you're spawning, like, I want to remember exactly. There was like, man, this used to be a lot easier. If you spawn like right here, that means they're spawning here. If you're spawning here, then they're spawning here or here. So you can kind of read it that way with this and with that. That's kind of how you can read spawns on that front. Always use spawns. Always use your spawn to predict where your opponents are, because remember they only spawn you where you can't be seen or where it's like um, impossible to kill the opponent kind of deal. So always call out your spawn and use that information in your team to call out where your opponents are. Um, is there not like a okay, that's fine. Flag, what is this? Okay, okay. I don't okay. I don't know why all that's necessary. Okay, and then for rotations, yeah, I wish I could just reset everyone. So for rotations, you kind of want someone back here. Kind of want someone back here. For the rotations, one guy on scrap, one guy in art watching everything, and then one guy on new. I like to have the guy on new kind of lay down and use these steps to look over the double doors right here, because you can look under the steps and see the double doors. It's a great spot to hide in. And this ensures us these back spawns. And then if you're rotating and you have these close spawns, you kind of just want to cross through the front. I like to do a little mixture, both ARs right here. And they kind of just hold and contest from this spot, and then you have a sub kind of jump out this way to bait, and then you have a sub go top art, jump top art, and then take a little route to clear out rails and block spawns and stuff like that. So this is usually the break and the hold. This guy will um, probably be something like this. Would be my preferable hold. It's very passive, it blocks spawns, and it prevents them from hitting. But you can obviously have people in these upper corners as well. And if you don't have spawns, like say they're like spawns are kind of fucked and you know people are going to be back here, you can have like someone like this, and then, someone like that, someone like that, and then someone, in this corner as well. A lot of corner play here. I think on a generic rule to win a lot of hard points and to hold a lot of time, you kind of want two people. If it's like this hill is an exception because it's open, but most of the indoor hills are kind of like you want two people inside the hard point at all times. Like number 4 is an indoor hill. You want two people inside it, just playing corners and watching each other. So and then for rotations, obviously you just want people out as soon as possible. For this rotation, they just gotta hold is pretty much what it is. Generic setup's also pretty easy to tell. But usually I do something like this. Kind of has everything covered. Makes the break pretty difficult. And you want them to spawn bottom art. This one's not a difficult hill to understand at all. So what we do on SEU, Thresh taught us, is that our first break should be breaking for top, like breaking through the gate together. Which it can be difficult, but it's kind of easy at the same time, because if you have an AR kind of jump up here on this top area of maps, pre-aiming top circle, he can kind of get a kill. You can also have an AR kind of peek this way and still get a kill, because you can play for the guy back steps or wherever he's at, right? Maybe get a sub into maps or whatever, and then kind of like just flood. What Tom Gravity and them do is they kind of like throw nades like half circle, and then as soon as the nades hit, the subs jump out of like top maps, and then everyone chows and stuff like that. But that's a lot more coordinated stuff. Also, there's a pretty good corner here that's also pretty good at holding. Also, if you're like the first person on rotation and you need to win the rotation solo, like say no one is here and they're all spawning, like your whole team is spawning old, I usually like to post up right here and just lay down behind and not get peeked from anywhere, and wait for my opponent to cross and just get kills that way so my teammates can get a good pinch. But yeah, P3 is pretty easy on both sides. And then if you're breaking P3, um, sorry, that sneeze was forever. When you're breaking P3 after, like if it's like the first, like if it's the first break rotation, you want to do this gate hit, you know what I'm saying? Gate maps. If it's not the first rotation, like you guys already died and there's like 30 seconds or something left, you just want to do the front and top maps. And have someone rotate and set up and get pickoffs on gate right here. Make sure no one gets through. Also, if you have a really good spawn trap and you push out a P3, which is possible if you're just getting a shit ton of kills, what you could do is you could have someone pushed up here and someone pushed up here. And they'll still spawn bottom art, and you'll just kind of funnel them the whole time. And then if we go to P4 rotations are P4 rotations. I just think, like, I don't really care how one rotates on P4. My big thing on Bagra is that if you have an opportunity to use these boxes to jump top art, or to use this and jump top art, do it every time. Like, this rotation is top tier. If you jump to the top windows, AR or sub, doesn't matter. If you can do it, just do it. It's a crazy good rotation. It's really easy at breaking your opponents, and it's a nice one. And also expect your opponents to do this a lot as well. So if you're holding and you're just kind of running around with a sub or an AR, you want to hold something real quick, just definitely hold top art of some way, some sort. Top rails, top art, huge places. And don't forget that there's this little jump up back here that you can jump up to these back windows. That's also a good way to break the hill sometimes on this P4. But yeah, like I said, you can have one person in P4, you can have one person top rails. I kind of like spawn trapping out, so you kind of want to have someone watching P2 if possible. I like to hold like this, or I can hold like this. This is a pretty good hold spot right here. I do this one or this one, and they'll spawn out basically in front of art. This person will be like upstairs or some shit like that, you know. Dash likes to lay down behind the truck over here and like have a crazy angle and watch bottom art. Lot of different shit that you can do here. Also, like I said, you do want to have someone probably top trees. So top trees can hold top maps and stuff like that and prevent people from jumping on top. Person right here checks the top single. This person gets P2. This person gets this, and then this guy's watching bottom art, and then you guys get the callouts, and top rails can help, and so can trees, and you guys just kind of play ratty as fuck. Play really ratty. I'm a big player life fan. Um, like I said, the break is pretty simple. You jump top art, you spawn in the back, you get top rails, or you do the jump up for top rails. Um, yeah, and you pretty much just play for time. Um, you don't really need two people on time, but you will need to have to jump on time a lot. And then P5 is pretty simple. This one's like an AR hold hill for me, even though I know this isn't. It goes all the way to here, even though it doesn't show it. But I like to have an AR right here. You need to have someone blocking P2 spawns. So you need to have someone like right about here, just going between the gates until the spawns flip. You kind of want someone. You kind of want someone spawn trapping up here if they can, top truck or on top of here, and you want someone top maps, and then preferably your opponent is spawning back here. That's preferable. Um, won't be the case always. Sometimes you'll be like right here, and then they'll have like a little split spawn. But mainly, what we want to do here is we want to have P2 control. So like, if we are spawning out, first off, this is the only good spot where you can really hit through this area pretty well and break the hill, and this area pretty well and break the hill. If you want to play ratty as fuck, don't forget the stables. The stables are pretty ratty, and you can watch bottom maps while someone holds the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we're spawning back here and they're spawning over here. You know, you can have someone like right here, and then it'll um, protect our team from getting hit. Um, but yeah, so like say we're spawning out like this or something at a weird time, and we need to win for new rotations. You know what I'm saying? We just wrap P2 right here. We just go all the way around. And get P2 and go through open and use our nades and stuff like that. Because open and top single are probably going to be our best chances at holding the time, and then we can also have, you know, shit like this, shit like this. Don't forget to play like picks a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like say we rotate on P3 or P5 or P2 or something like that. Or P4. It's very common, like for me to get easy kills just being posted up right here. You know what I'm saying? And just getting picks across this way, laying down, picking up some picks this way. You know what I'm saying? Lots of ways to spawn trap and get picks off rotation. So like P3, you know what I'm saying? There's people getting picked. P2 is something like this. There's people getting picked. P4, exact opposite again, still getting picked. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a huge cross area. Jumping on top of this truck is huge. Jumping on top of this truck is huge. Jumping on top of the scaffolding, huge plays. Very ratty. Great for getting a lot of kills. But yeah, focus a lot about blocking spawns on this one. It's not about holding spawns, it's about blocking spawns. It's about knowing where your opponents are coming from, because if you know where they're coming from, it's much easier to spawn trap, rather than getting spawns that are easy for you to break and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's pretty much the hard point as a whole. Um, don't fall into the trap of getting like spawn trapped and shit like that. Definitely play together as a team. I usually like to find that getting out of spawn traps is usually like breaking through maps and stuff like that. Playing slow, playing for picks, someone getting out stables pretty soon and just waiting for picks to happen. You kind of just want to wait for a pick to happen and then you make a crazy move like that, because usually someone's playing an island on this side of the map, and if you get a pick on this side of the map, you can kind of just like go from like these two sides of the map pretty quick. And usually everyone's kind of hunkered up inside of these two buildings, you know. So you want either the control of these two buildings. If you have the control of maps and art, that's how you know you're controlling the map. If you need to break out of shit, you kind of play the outskirts of it, right? And you wait for a pick to happen, and then you use the advantage to do something. Break the hill, rotate for new, distract your opponent, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, it's a very ratty map, so definitely play a hell of a lot of corners. Play very difficult to kill inside of art, inside of maps. Like this is one of those like hide and seek type maps that you can really be difficult to find on. That's how you want to play. And if you can sit sit in time and do it. There's a lot of corners in the hill that people aren't be able to kill you as. There's a lot of good spots, like jumping on top of these benches to get a good kill. You could lay down right here. You can lay down behind here. You can lay down behind here. This is a great corner. I use it all the time. Don't lay down by crouch down, and you just kind of hold like this. Great fucking spots. Great spots. So play ratty as hell. AR subs. doesn't matter. And to be honest, I'll probably go over control another time. I don't see too many Bagra controls, so we'll see what controls we like and what we don't, because one of them is just gonna not happen no matter what. But yeah, that's pretty much Bagra hardpoint as a whole.